Hello, today we will explore a story about a dog tied to a carriage, and a lesson about how to control your reactions to situations. If you find the video useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more interesting lessons. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart sped down the road, the dog, helpless and struggling, was dragged along. Every muscle in its body strained against the force, yet it could do nothing but be pulled forward. The more it fought, the more painful its journey became. But here's the twist: the dog's situation wasn't one of destiny. It had no choice but to follow the path set before it, and its suffering was caused not by the cart, but by its own resistance. The road would have taken the dog forward whether it fought or not. The only true pain it felt was the unnecessary struggle it imposed on itself. This fable holds a mirror to our own lives. How often do we resist the inevitable? How many times do we struggle against forces beyond our control, adding pain and frustration to our lives when we could simply accept the flow of events? Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, taught us that the path to true freedom is not in resisting the world's conditions, but in mastering our reactions to them. In this story, the dog shows us a simple truth: our power lies not in controlling external circumstances, but in controlling how we face them. We are not defined by the forces that pull us, but by how we respond to them. So, the next time life ties you to a moving cart, remember, the less you fight, the more peace you'll find in the journey. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart pulled forward, the dog was faced with a choice. Either it could actively walk alongside the cart, or it could be dragged painfully and helplessly. The dog's fate depended not on the cart, but on its own response. If it chose to align itself with the cart, it could walk with ease, at least avoiding the agony of being dragged. But if it resisted, fighting against the pull, it would endure only pain and exhaustion. This fable is a powerful reminder of our own struggles in life. We often face situations where the road ahead is set, where circumstances are beyond our control. We have two options: we can either fight against the inevitable, or we can choose to accept it and move forward with purpose. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, teaches us that peace comes not from controlling what happens to us, but from controlling our response to it. The dog's choice mirrors our own. The less we resist, the more we can find calm in the midst of the storm. In life, when the world pulls us in one direction, remember this: you have the power to choose how you move. Will you resist and suffer, or will you step forward with strength and grace? The journey, after all, is yours to make. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart moved forward, the dog had two choices. It could either walk alongside the cart, or it could be dragged painfully, struggling with every step. The story is a symbol of life and fate, things that are beyond our control. Just like the dog, we often find ourselves bound to circumstances, carried by forces that we can't dictate. We can either resist, fight against the current and face unnecessary pain, or we can choose to move with it, accepting the flow and conserving our energy. This fable reveals a profound truth: suffering often arises not from the situation itself, but from our resistance to it. Life's challenges, much like the moving cart, are inevitable. We can't always control what happens to us, but we have the power to control how we respond. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, taught that inner peace comes from accepting the things we cannot change and focusing on our reaction to them. The dog's struggle is a reflection of our own. When we resist what we can't control, we only bring more pain upon ourselves. But when we learn to move with the flow, we find strength and acceptance. In life, the cart may keep moving and we may be tied to it. But remember, we have a choice in how we walk through it. Will you resist and suffer, or will you step forward with grace and wisdom? The journey, after all, is in your hands. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart sped along, the dog was faced with a choice. It could either walk alongside the cart or be dragged, helpless and in pain. The cart represents the flow of life, the events, circumstances and challenges that are beyond our control. Just like the dog, we are often caught in situations where we can't dictate the direction, where the course is set by forces outside our influence. The road ahead, with its twists and turns, will unfold whether we fight it or not. The dog's pain, however, isn't caused by the cart itself, but by its resistance to it. This struggle symbolizes how we often fight against life's inevitable events, causing ourselves unnecessary suffering. The more we resist, the more we experience pain. The less we fight, the more we find peace in the journey. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, spoke of the importance of accepting the things we cannot change and focusing on how we respond. Life's cart may keep moving with its unpredictable twists, but the power lies in how we navigate through it. The dog's lesson is clear. It's not the cart that causes suffering but our resistance to it. In life we cannot always control the path we're on. But we can choose how to walk it. Will you fight the flow of life, or will you move with it, embracing each moment with strength and grace? The choice is yours. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart moved forward, the dog had two choices. It could either walk alongside the cart or be dragged, suffering in the process. The dog, in this case, represents our reactions and attitudes toward life's circumstances. The cart symbolizes the flow of life, those events and situations beyond our control. We cannot always choose the challenges we face or the direction we're pulled, just as the dog cannot choose its journey. But what we can control is how we respond. If the dog chose to fight against the cart, it would only cause itself more pain. But if it aligned itself with the cart's movement, it could walk with ease, avoiding unnecessary suffering. This decision mirrors how we handle life's challenges. We can either resist, struggle, and suffer, or we can accept and move forward with grace, making the journey less painful. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, taught that true freedom lies not in controlling what happens to us, but in controlling our responses to what happens. The dog's struggle symbolizes how, in life, we often face situations we can't change. The key is in choosing how we respond. Life may drag us along paths we didn't choose. But just like the dog, we hold the power to determine how we walk that path. Will you resist and suffer, or will you choose to move forward with a calm and open heart? The choice is yours. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart moved forward, the dog had two choices. It could either walk alongside the cart or be dragged painfully and helplessly. The dog, in this story, represents how we react to the reality of life, the circumstances and events we cannot control. The cart symbolizes the flow of life, the forces that push us in directions we don't always choose. We can't control the cart's movement, just as we can't control every aspect of life. But we can control how we move with it. If the dog resisted, it would only experience pain, dragged along by forces beyond its control. But if the dog chose to align itself with the cart and cooperate with its movement, it could walk alongside it with ease, avoiding unnecessary suffering. This fable teaches us a powerful lesson. When we cooperate with reality rather than resist it, we can move forward with greater peace and lightness. Life may not always go the way we want, but how we choose to respond makes all the difference. We can either struggle and fight against what is happening, or we can accept it and move forward with grace, allowing the journey to be easier. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, reminds us that true freedom comes not from controlling the external world, but from controlling our inner responses. When we align ourselves with the flow of life, we find the strength to move forward peacefully. So, when life ties you to a moving cart, remember this. Cooperation with the present moment leads to a much lighter, more serene journey. Will you resist or will you walk with the flow? The choice is yours. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart pulled forward, the dog had two choices. It could either walk alongside the cart or be dragged, struggling and in pain. The dog's choice mirrors how we often react to the uncontrollable events in our lives. The cart represents life's inevitable flow, the challenges, the circumstances, and the outcomes we cannot change. The dog, like us, faces a crucial decision: resist the pull or align with it. If the dog chose to resist, fighting against the cart, it would only experience more pain. The more it fought, the harder the journey became and the more helpless it felt. The same happens in life. When we resist the flow of events, we create unnecessary suffering for ourselves. The external world may push us in directions we don't want to go, but the real pain comes from how we react to it. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, often spoke of the importance of accepting what we cannot change. He believed that peace comes from mastering our inner response to external events, not from trying to control them. When we fight against life's circumstances, we only magnify our suffering. But when we accept and flow with them, we find peace in the process. So, when life pulls you in a direction you didn't choose, remember the dog's lesson. Resisting only leads to pain and helplessness. The more you fight, the more you suffer. But if you choose to cooperate with the present moment, you'll find yourself moving forward with ease and tranquility. The choice is yours. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart sped along, the dog had two choices. It could either walk alongside the cart or be dragged painfully, struggling in vain. This fable beautifully illustrates a key Stoic teaching. We cannot control the circumstances of life, but we always control our responses. The cart represents the uncontrollable forces of life, events, challenges, and outcomes that are beyond our power. The dog, in its struggle, represents our own reactions when faced with those forces. If the dog fought against the cart, it would only cause itself pain and frustration. It could not stop the cart from moving, it could not change the situation. Yet, if it chose to cooperate, aligning itself with the movement of the cart, it would suffer less. This choice reflects the Stoic wisdom. While we cannot always control what happens to us, we always have the power to decide how we react. Seneca, a key Stoic philosopher, often emphasized that our peace and freedom lie not in controlling external circumstances, but in mastering our internal responses. We can't prevent the challenges of life from coming our way, but we can choose how we face them. By cultivating self-mastery and acceptance, we create our own inner calm amidst the chaos. So, when life pulls you in a direction you didn't choose, remember, it's not the circumstances that cause your suffering, but how you choose to respond. The true power lies within your reaction. In an ancient Greek fable, a dog was tied to a moving cart. As the cart moved forward, the dog had two choices. It could either walk alongside the cart or be dragged, struggling and in pain. This story illustrates a profound truth about inner freedom. It does not come from external circumstances, but from our attitude toward them. The cart represents the inevitable flow of life, the events, challenges, and situations that we cannot control. The dog, caught in this flow, can either resist and suffer, or it can choose to align with the cart's movement, walking with ease. This choice mirrors the Stoic philosophy. True freedom and inner peace come not from changing the world around us, but from how we choose to respond to it. The dog cannot stop the cart from moving, just as we cannot always control life's events. But by choosing to accept and cooperate with what is, rather than resisting, the dog can avoid unnecessary pain. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, taught that internal freedom is found in our attitude, not in external control. We may not be able to control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. When we accept life's challenges with grace and act with intention, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. So, when life pulls you along like the cart, remember, your inner freedom comes from how you respond. It's not the circumstances but your attitude that shapes your peace. Choose acceptance and proactive action, and you'll find true freedom within. Thank you for watching today's video. Remember, in life we cannot control everything, but we can control how we react. If you find the video useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share so we can grow stronger together.